This one right here is one that I indeed have to still learn how to do a little bit more, right? So, Black Woman's Guide, Part 3. Go only where you are aligned in or celebrated. Don't entertain the people that want to tell you the private life of a divested Black woman. Don't entertain shows like Pop the Balloon. Do not entertain anything that is speaking ill of who you are as a Black woman. Don't entertain spaces that want to say, tell you about what your trauma is, and they're not no certified therapists, MD, PhD, you know what I'm saying, psychologists, or none of that, not certified in it. Do not go into these spaces that want to crash, that want to say that feminists are crashing out, or focusing on the most negative things that they can find about Black women. Stay away. Block it. Don't entertain it. Now, in my case, I go into these spaces now because it's a journaling time. It's a space of analyzing. It's a space of writing things down and observing and detaching myself from what's going on, right? And also paying attention to what emotionally gets to me when I hear it and examining why it does that. Okay. Now, like for example, I noticed that if anybody is some kind of relationship guru, relationship gurus, they get under my skin. Okay, they really get, they do. Okay, I can admit that, because it's always that question of what wisdom do you have that solidifies what you have to say, or is this relationship guru thing your way of opening the door of being able to talk trash about women in their ways and women's ways of relationships? And maybe that's why it gets under my skin, because my intuition is picking that up, like the insincerity of it all. Now, another thing that I also observed, Pop the Balloon is something that I enjoy more of, the lesbian one, right? I have a blast watching those and laughing at them. Um, as opposed to the heteronormative ones, where I realized that they it's a little more brutal and rude and no respect. And so I sit back and I look at that and I'm just like, ugh, feel sorry for you women, Black women that date males. I really do. Cause it's horrible. I've seen people, it seemed like they just popped the balloon because everybody else did. So I would say stay the hell away from that stuff. Um, that's just what I have to say. I know I sound biased in how I said it, but I'm saying it how I mean it. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's this thing where you have to understand that people will try to bait you, which is called clickbait, but they just try to bait you in general. There's this thing where people will try to get your attention. You know, that typical one, dear Black woman, right? And you can't allow yourself to be baited by these people. Okay, these are human beings like you. These people are jumping on their camera, don't know what the fuck their lives is like, but they're jumping on their fucking camera and they're talking and they're saying the things that they're saying. And that's just how they feel. But you have no clue who they are, what their life experiences is, or only but what they tell you. if they even tell you, right? Don't be baited by this. I recently saw a video that said the secret life of the divestors and the trauma and this and that. It doesn't mean that she didn't have some points or some truths, but that was her point and that was her truth. Okay? Also, from that, if you do not care for Black love, as it's called, right? Then don't go into spaces with it. Block it from your algorithm. Make that algorithm very tight. I recently saw a clip, and I'm going to get into this clip really quick. Oh, yeah, I was supposed to get into that, was I not? Okay. I'm going to keep that up so I won't forget about it. I'm like looking at the Sukiyana one from yesterday, and I'm like,
building your online business?
Yeah, I did watch that.
Go to Wix.com and set up
the community posts. You know, I really appreciate your thoughts and comments. But
all right, I'm going to go ahead and play you all a clip. And it's this mammy talking. And this is the perfect example of what I'm saying. And I'm definitely going to do a mammy series too. You know, I don't know how, but I'm definitely going to do one. Hold on, y'all. So that looks like that model. Is that? No, that's not that model, because that model was lighter skin. Okay, I just want y'all to listen to this. I'm going to pause. I'm going to dissect. I'm going to do all that. You feel me? Good.
I agree with Winnie. I believe that you should date who feeds your soul. But who feeds my soul is a Black man. And I want to tell you why.
People are entitled to have their opinions, right? Okay. This is what I'll give you an example. I would have looked at her and known something from the start. That's just me. But as soon as I would have seen, as soon as I would have heard her say that, instantly I would have turned the video off and blocked her. But here, this is the point I'm making. You know what? No, that's my point. As soon as she says that, you do what I did. You pause the video, you hit the block button. Okay, not interested. Even people, because here's where you have to be careful too. You have to be careful of the people who's talking about divestment. Sometimes someone can be talking about divestment, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're divesting. Their content can be what markets. All right? But I just gave you an example. As soon as she said that, that was your cue to cut this bitch the fuck off. You don't got to listen no further. You don't give a fuck what she has to say, because the first fucking sentence already told you, I'm done with this bitch. That's how you do it. That's how you have to be done. See, when we hear the divestors and the mammy calls in and she says stuff like, I don't see the Black male as my enemy, she kicks her off the show. Any Black woman that says anything that is defending Black males, she kicks them off the show. Give or take, I think, people's opinions and stuff should be listened to. I think we should listen and hear what people have to say. But at the same time, I can understand it now. Took me time, but now I understand it. Your frequency and your alignment is everything about who you are and what you're manifesting every day. And for the Black women who know themselves, who loves themselves, who has self, who knows their worth, right? Because that's who I'm talking to. You're not going to go places that are not worthy of you. You're not going to put yourself in spaces that are not worthy of your time. You can look at something and know this ain't worthy of my time. Just like that. This ain't worthy of my space. Just like that. Because I'm finding too many Black women going in the comment section, expressing their relationships, expressing how much happier they are in their interracial relationship, saying, you know, some even going off, fuck Tyrone and Pookie. I'm watching all of this. What I'm trying to get Black women to do, what I really want Black women to do, is ignore. Is ignore. You understand what I mean? I need, every time somebody say, dear Black women, I need y'all to ignore them. I need them to have 0 comments under their videos. I want to see 0. Whenever there's a conversation, especially the divested Black women, 0 comments. Okay? This is the time, and it has always been a time, because that's what it's all about, of alignment. I don't give a damn about a travel ban. It ain't gonna stop me from still manifesting, doing my vision board of the places that I want to be and doing the things that I want to do. It's not going to stop me from going to my other YouTube page and watching all the things that teaches me one-on-one on literature reading and critical analysis, people with PhDs showing how to do research and how they do it. It's not going to stop me, because that is what my alignment is. I just saw one with a Black woman who was a pilot. She wanted to be one since she was a kid. She became a private pilot. Even broke down in tears, but she did it. And if you're into stuff like that, you can watch people like that. I, out of my own faults as well, had to learn these spaces don't deserve me. See, that's how you have to look at it. These spaces don't deserve me. They don't deserve my time. They don't deserve my energy. They don't deserve for me to even listen to it. You have to develop like that kind of mentality. Knowing that's all because you know what you're worth. And when you know what you're worth, there are just things that you just will not deal with because you know what you're worth. Other things that I have come to. Other things that I have come to is there's a conflict, and I'll be the one to tell you there's no fucking need for it. Okay? Hear me out. You are an alternative Black woman. You need to understand, if you're going to sit here and still deal with Black while being an alternative Black woman, deal with other alternative Black. That's simple. Find spaces, find communities, find meetings, find groups. Deal with other alternative blacks if you're still going to date black people. If not, just deal with other alternative people. You cannot be a woman with tattoos, piercings, split tongue energy, heavy metal energy, and go to a pop a balloon with a bunch of niggas. That's a conflict. Okay? You need to check that. That is not a space for people like you. Okay? Honestly, a woman who knows what she's worth will never go to a space to be validated for what she's worth, i.e., pop the fucking balloon. Okay? You don't need that validation. You don't need that attention for who you are. Another thing to stop being conflicted with. You're a divested black woman. If you're sure that you do not want to fuck with these niggas, you want to leave the community alone, leave it alone. Don't go. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying. It conflicts the alignment when you go to spaces and, you know, they're talking about black love or black people. Now you're going to become a troll in that space. That's not your space. You are dating interracially, right? You are choosing to walk away to the black community, right? So therefore, your focus should be on things in those topics. Or you should just be focused on the things that, you know, I mean, the whatever you like, whatever it is that you like. See, me, when it comes to politics, history, any systematic discussions, book references, that is all black women that I watch. When it comes to a list of books or book stacking or book recommendation, those are all non-black males for me, right? There's women here and there, but a lot of time, even the women who recommend books or who have, they usually have a one book, they're teaching something. And a lot of times those women are foreign white women that I watch. Y'all recognize the pattern? Exactly. I don't watch black males. If you find me watching a Roland Martin, or any type of black male, it's literally because I was just doing the Civil Rights Act thing and I was watching it. Or I know I discovered Roland Martin somehow, and he was always talking about Trump even before he became the president. He was just always dragging Trump. And I used to just watch that while I was on lunch. It's stuff like that. But other than that, I don't watch them. I don't look at them to learn anything. I don't look at them for book recommendations. They're just not on my screen ever. And it's been that way a long time. They're not on my screen. Another thing. If you really don't want to fuck with the black community as a whole, that is absolutely fine. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely fine. Therefore, don't be guilt-tripped into feeling as if you have some kind of self-hate. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. There was a time in my life I was very triggered by niggas. And I got on the app, and I liked the app, but it was just a bunch of niggas, and it triggered me. But where I went wrong with the whole thing, I went very wrong in so many spaces. I still hung around them. I still got into discussions with them. And I did not like them. And this was something that was a pattern in my life. But you need to understand one thing about being that way. Even if you're around them, they can sense that you do not like them. They can sense that rejection. They can sense that anti-ness that you have about them, whether you think so or not. And if you go and deal with somebody who is said to be of the culture or the community you don't want to fuck with, i.e., let's say the black culture, what you're going to find is everything around you in any type of friendship, any type of connection is going to all fall apart because you really don't like them. It's not something that you can hide. Because what I've learned is people are who they are, right? And they're going to act the way that they act. And so some things for someone who does not want to fuck with that community, a lot of things are very major. A lot of things are very cringy and all and ugh, right? But the thing is, it's not them, it's you. It's you because this is not a frequency that you like to deal with and you don't like to be around, you don't like to fuck with. So therefore, you need to take heed to that. You get what I'm saying? And accept it. Don't let no one tell you that it's anti-blackness, anti-hate. Or hate or self-hate, because it's not. Your energy and your frequency does not resonate with it or want to deal with it for whatever internally is going on inside of you. And if you do have trauma, this is why I say don't watch these type of channels that want to say, oh, you women are traumatized and you're running to white men. No. Or white women. No. Don't watch that stuff. Your traumas is personal to you. And this is why you take that inside of a book on trauma, your own psychological self-healing, self-care book. You do the self-care, you do the shadow work. Then you also, you go to the therapist or the certified psychiatrist or psychiatrist or psychiatrist. How do you go to? You know what I'm saying. Psychologist, psychiatrist. Okay? That's what you do. And that's how you navigate moving forward. No one can tell you what you want to be or who you are. Fuck the internet, fuck these people. They're just people on the internet. I'm just a bitch on the internet, right? But if my information is useful, you can utilize it. Bada boom, bada bing. But do not let people try to dictate and tell you what you are doing with your life. Because they can't tell you that. You have people that understand they have their own internal conflict because you don't know how they're raised, what's put in their head as children. You don't know what's going on there. So they go out into this world and project this same ideology of blackness. While you look around and I look around and we be like, this some bullshit. This some bullshit. And you got to stick to that. And that was the mistake that I made. And the mistakes have made. And there are times in my life, the way I navigate, I have to navigate the way that I do. Especially in the work world, because it's the work world. But other than that, I don't deal with nobody outside of work. Even if I have a number, I don't deal with nobody outside of work. It's only involving work. Nobody's worthy of getting to know me. And I know if you got to know me, you ain't gonna like me. Because I can spot the I love only black men type. I can spot all that shit from a mile away. I hear it. So, you gotta live silently. That's another thing. Move in silence. Okay? That is another thing, a part of what this is. Move in silence. It's okay to observe, like this video I just showed you and I turned the shit off. It's okay to listen if you want to. But if you're finding yourself to be triggered, then it's time to get off of it. You feel me? See, this is what a lot of these people want to do. Understand, how do I explain it? You got to understand that there are some people, they don't have no experience outside of what they know. They went to school all black all their lives. They graduated all black. They went to college all black. And even if it was other cultures there, they probably, attracted the very wiggers of those cultures. Or maybe not at all. And you have to understand that there are some people, they don't know nothing about going to a library, sitting down and reading a book. They don't know nothing about that. They don't understand anything about the Dewey Decimal System. They don't know anything about going to the mountains or going to the beach to have a good time. They don't know anything about sightseeing in America and beautiful places in America to go, like mountains and waterfalls and all these different things. They don't understand the studying of history. I can go on. And so because of this, in their mind, if you don't want anything that's black, something is wrong with you, and that's self-hating, because they don't know anything outside of what they know. So this is how they speak like this. And this is why they say the things that they say. They may come across people of other cultures and have their experiences with them, but we're not there to know, to even analyze and say what was fucked up and what was not, right? And a lot of these people, some people are just completely ignorant and arrogant, and just an arrogant, ignorant, egg-headed motherfucker. I mean, seriously. And so therefore, this is the part of alignment. A lot of these people online that I see, I would never cross paths with them. Now, the lady I found yesterday, the McEvil girl, I definitely can see me and her crossing paths. Like, definitely can see me going to somewhere and she will be right there with me. And we can go into a very deep discussion. I can look at people and tell who will cross paths to me and who would never cross my path. Okay? And you have to be able to tell that too and take heed to that. I was sitting here as I was thinking about this show and everything I was going to talk about today. And I was like, I was going to put something like, do not, right? Or don't. And I decided not to, because I feel like it's too demanding, too bullying, too like trying to tell somebody what to do with their life. And so I changed the title to go only where you are aligned and celebrated. And I chose to use the word go and then take only and make it capitalized, where you are aligned and celebrated. Because it's a more smoother topic. It's a more smoother way to discuss the thing that I'm discussing right now. You decided that you want to divest, right? Divestment falls into many categories over here, okay? Because I see the divested black woman as the alternative black woman, right? She has divested from hip hop and R&B. She has indulged in whatever it is, maybe rock and maybe EDM and maybe country music. You know what I'm saying? It may be, I'm not a disco fan, but it may just be whatever category of music, pop music, but definitely got away from hip hop and R&B. You can divest from that too, as well as from a certain culture, a way of lifestyle, whatever. That's what divestment, I'm talking about. When you truly make this choice, there's no need to watch videos like, why black women are divesting and the black women are divesting from us. You don't need to watch none of that shit. What reason? You made your decision to divest. You know what I'm saying? You made your decision to keep it moving. I don't think it's any purpose of even watching that. It's time to live it. If you're watching that, it's like you're seeking validation for what you're doing. And if you're seeking validation for what you're doing, you can fuck around and get in a video where somebody is actually telling you in their own psychological mind flipping way that no, you shouldn't do that. So you have to be careful. And you have to look at that. What reason do you need to watch that? Once you've made that choice to divest, once you made the choice to walk away from whatever you walked away from, when you set down your algorithm of life, you're going to navigate your life in the way in which you've set your life. Your life will be divestment. And I promise you, when you navigate like that, those black males and or black women too will not talk to you. They will not resonate with you. Even if they may just look at you, they won't really resonate to want to talk or be around you or anything like that. Sometimes you might find people that might cop attitudes. And you be like, what the fuck did I do? And it's like, no, it's your energy. And they can pick up that energy of you that's divested and uninterested. You gotta understand that. Because it's in how you dress, how you walk, how you talk. And it's in a lot of things that you may not even realize that it is in how you are. So it's those things. Hold on. Quick water break. Whew. I needed that cold water. It was a little chilly when I got up today. I just turned the heat up to like 78 right now. It was a bit chilly. I got to go outside for a little walk and check my mailbox, see how cold it is, get a feel of the coldness to see how I'm going to dress and how I'm going to start going for my jogs. I've been thinking, do I want to get new pants, like new sweatpants? Because I have yoga pants, but that's for in the house. I'm thinking, do I want to get some new sweatpants and, go for a nice jog? All right, let's go. You don't need the validation of the choices that you're making for your life. You make the choice for your life. And as a divested black woman, whatever that divestment may be, you utilize social media and you utilize life to continue life in the way that you are or you have been living as a divested woman. You live the frequency of your alignment. And therefore, the people that you watch will align with you. You will watch, if you feel like it, you will hear a woman who's divested and hear her story. Maybe you'll want to hear her story because a part of her story may be a part of your story. Maybe this woman may be something that's like the divested black woman's guide. Okay, that's awesome. Watch the divested black woman's guide and questions that she may answer and such and things like that. If she has a membership, if you want to, you join her membership. If you want to get, if that's the direction you go, because that's not, to me, That's not seeking validation. That's like you're seeking a circle of people as yourself to navigate this new world for yourself, right? It's equivalent to me getting into stocks and trades. I read books on stocks and trades. I go out there and find a place to do stocks and trades. Okay? Maybe find other people around me that does stocks and trades in my real life. And then sit down and watch a channel of somebody who can teach you stocks and trades, like a whole course. Because there's going to be somebody out there doing it. Down. There's going to be somebody out there doing it. Then also, with that being said, now I can join the membership. If I really like this person and really think they're useful, now I can join the membership. Now through the membership, I have, membership priority to ask questions in the background or the Patreon, you know what I'm saying? And or to talk to them directly. You see what I'm saying? These are the steps. But that is aligning yourself with the very thing that you're aligning your life with. I think too many people want Black women's attention. Oops, hold on. Mic check. Audio, y'all. Mic check, mic check. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't know if I wanted them to automatically check my microphone volume. Okay. I think there are certain things and topics with Black women that are building smear campaigns against her. Okay? And ganging up on her. And I'm going to go back to this video as an example. Hold on. Okay. I take it this woman here expressed something different. Let me hear. Who is this guy? Black women own the conversation. I don't know who is
outside the race.
Black women and all women should date whoever they want to date.
Okay. I never seen this before. Black women can date whoever she wants to date. And she mentioned other women, I think she said, but Black women.
I agree with Winnie. I believe that you should date.
Okay, I think I remember this. I think this was the woman who was with a white Italian man, and then she went back to dating Black men. I think this is her.
Who
in the
feeds
middle.
your soul, but who feeds my soul is a Black man.
Okay, we know. That's why you look like one. I want you all, let's go back to this scene. Understand, for Black women who choose a different path than others, that entails the alternative Gothic Black woman, okay? When you choose a different path, you have to choose that different path. So when these type of Negroes is carrying on this kind of discussion, Black man love bullshit, you don't put yourself in that space. You get me? You get me? Because you're going to get yourself in a space where whatever the fuck this bitch in the white say, everybody's going to clap. Okay? So when you have this beautiful woman in the corner, I'm telling you this, I'm still thinking is that model needs to get herself up and leave. She don't belong there. That's my point. See, I'm a stickler. I'm a big stickler. So if I was to go on anybody's platform right now, that platform has to hold a standard. Okay? That platform has to hold a standard. If that platform does not hold a standard, then I don't want to be bothered with it. You get what I'm saying? If somebody's YouTube channel does not hold a standard, I don't want to be bothered with it. Now, give or take, again, I'm doing a lot of research. A lot of YouTube channels, I'm listening, I'm watching, observing, and journaling. That's a different story. And this is why I'm talking about going where you're aligned and going where you're celebrated. Because going where you're celebrated is going where you're aligned. And where going where you're aligned is definitely where you will be celebrated. You understand? There's no more of this. I want this right here to stop. I know this is a discussion of this person's talking about this versus what this person is saying. And this person, has their opinion over here, and this person has, we all have opinions. Okay, I get it. That's what the purpose of what the host is trying to do. But that don't mean you have to participate in that. I often feel like if you're going to be in this kind of space to have this kind of discussion, then you subconsciously don't want to believe. You want to be taken away from what it is you said that you believe. So when you say to yourself that this is my decision and this is a life decision that I have made, I stand on it. I would not go into a panel to discuss why the fuck I don't fuck with hip hop or R&B. I would never do that. But I definitely would go into a panel talking about punk rock music, grunge music, thrash metal, metal music in its history. I'll definitely go on a panel for that. Because that's what I'm aligned with. That's what I sell. That's where I'm celebrate. That's what I celebrate and where I'm celebrated. That's what lights me up. Definitely go on a panel about romance writing. Definitely go on a panel about nonfiction or any form of writing, period. Lights me up. But I will not go on a panel talking about audiobooks versus real books. See what I'm saying? Even something like that, I would not even go on a panel discussing audiobooks versus the real book. Because those things are useless and not worth my time. That's the point that I'm making. This is useless and not worth your time. This is a frequency and an alignment. This woman is now with her Louis Vuitton shirt on. No, actually that's Versace. Versace. Right? Shirt on. And she's now put her frequency in the space of a bunch of mammies. So now when she walks outside, the frequency of some high value looking dusty is going to approach her energy. Just like that. That's not what you want. You go into the space of what you want. You be around the people of the energy of what you want. You need to learn from Becky. See, Becky will hang around you as a black woman to get to that black male or to get to other black women. You need to learn to do that same kind of goddamn sorcery. Because this right here ain't it. Don't go into these spaces. Don't do these things. I hate to say don't, but I have to say in this case, don't do it. It ain't worth your time or your energy or your mental goddamn health either. What I'm saying is, what I am making a point to say, you don't need to be validated, but by being in the space of what it is that you are, that's your validation. You don't go in the opposite space to validate your life and who you are. That's not what you do. You go into the space of the very thing that you are. I'm not going to go into a space that says, this is why you shouldn't do stocks and bonds. This is why you shouldn't invest into stocks. Okay, they have their opinion, they have their experience, but not interested in this channel, do not recommend this channel. Do you understand what I did there? Because I'm learning about stocks and trades, not bonds. I'm learning how to do my stocks and then soon learn how to trade. I don't need nobody telling me why I shouldn't do it. If I'm going to watch why I shouldn't do it, that means I already subconsciously feel like I don't want to do it. And they're just that push to make me say I don't want to do it. Gotta pay attention to that. I go out here and I put myself in spaces. Because, like I said, co-worker world is different. I get it. But I like to be in spaces with intellectual people. People who actually engage in conversations. Meaningful. I like to be in those type of spaces. I like to be in spaces with people who read books and talk about it or just listen to this is what I'm saying. These are the spaces that I enjoy being in and that I keep myself in. I can watch videos like this because I'm making a playlist and I'm taking notes, right? I can watch the opposite because it serves a purpose of writing and study and analysis. That's the difference. So this right here is a journaling and an analysis for me to watch and observe this one male in a room amongst all of these black women and listening to what she has to say. And listening to, if you even, because I don't care what she has to say. I already know what she's going to say from the first sentence. And then she said a grandmother 7 debunks divesting. That already tells me enough right there about her life with the 7 grandchildren. Dating life. Put yourself in the space of books, of authors, of people who are certified in their profession in the world of dating. Now, I'm not encouraging dating. I don't think this is a time to date. I think for the past years, it has not been a time to date. I myself have been in a relationship. I'm also polyamorous. I've expressed that. So when I watch dating stuff, I watch regular dating stuff, but I also watch a lot of polyamorous dating because that's how I date. Now, for you who date the other way around, listen to people like Joe Dispenza. I forgot the other lady name. Oh, I forgot her name. And these different people who are certified. And the people that you do, and then, pick up the books and all this kind of stuff. You line yourself up with those kind of people. I suggest people to go to qualified people when it comes to dating life. Now, people who want to share their experiences and what they learned, that's awesome too, because you can learn from that as well. I stand on what I say. So you align yourself, but here's the thing. Let's say you date a particular type of looking person, right? That's the kind of person that you watch talk about dating world. You're an interracial dater, listen to things about interracial dating, but still even be careful. Stick to the person who's speaking positive and giving you even, the positive about it, but also giving you something that you should also be mindful for in a very compassionate, loving way. It's about the delivery, not in a way that tries to steer you away from it. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I also encourage that you, in your personal world, continue to align your frequency of the things that you love to do. I totally miss going to the library. I totally miss traveling to different spaces to go to the library. I miss it. I'm not going to hold you. I just want a day to go to the library, smell the library books, go to the section I want to go to with a notebook, crack open a book, probably sit on the floor, probably take it back, sit on the floor, lean against the wall, and just read a library book and take some notes. I miss that. It's simple things like that in my life. Going out to eat and stuff is cool, but I like to do the things that I love to do. I like to go to the places that I love to go. And I have a partner that will celebrate that with me. If I'm like, hey, babe, I really want to go to the library. She'll take me to the library. And she'll leave me there. Or she'll sit down with me if I ask her to. And I'll just sit down at the library. That's just how it is. And then on top of that, compatibility is key. Be around people who are more compatible with you. If this woman's going to talk about a black woman should date whoever she wants, she should be on a panel of people talking about the black woman dating whoever she wants. Okay? Isn't that, because then you have someone saying, well, the black woman should date whoever she wants, but I'm going to date me a black man. She wants to date monkeys. She want to stay with them. And that's her business. So then you need to be on a panel with people who don't choose to only date monkeys. That's how I feel. Apes and fucking gorillas. Be with one, be in a panel with people who are talking the way you are. You have to be that stuck up in bourgeoisie when it comes to frequency and alignment. You have to be that putting your hand up way when it comes to frequency and alignment. You have to be the one to say, nah, not dealing with this. Nah, don't agree with that. Nah, don't fuck with that frequency. That ain't my vibe, as they say. That ain't what I'm with. That's not what I do. That's not the music that I fuck with. You'll never catch me bopping my head or dancing to no hip hop or R&B ever. Ever. And guess what? It happened more when a certain people are cut out my life. Now I don't have to hear about anything about hip hop and R&B anymore. Only one time I hear about hip hop and R&B, and I still don't ever dance to it or bop my head to it. I don't fuck with it. Even though I can hear songs and know the songs, and because I'm into music and beats, I might be like, I like that guitar, I like that, I like that piano, I like that way that was produced. That's what goes on in my head, but I don't care for the music. I don't care to watch the videos, the people. I don't give a shit about none of it. It's trash to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't make me anti-black. It makes me pro me. That's what it is. It makes you pro you. It makes you be what you are worth. You have to understand, in this black culture, they don't have boundaries. And they don't like people who have boundaries. Now, that's the world, honestly, but there's some people that they can understand it, right? But they don't have boundaries in black culture. And they don't want you to have them. They want to be like, well, sister, think about this. And this is why, fuck them. And that's why you get away. This is the number one thing that divestors are telling you. You have to get away from that community. You have to get away from the people. You cannot be friends with them. Co-worker world is different, but you cannot be closely associated with them. It gets to a point you can't even go to the places that they go or drink the things that they do or smoke the things that they smoke. My life is my life and how it's aligned. And I like the way it's aligned. Like I said, I just want to be around more smarter people. You know what I'm saying? I have a partner that's pretty smart. Like, she's very smart. But I still want to be around more people that challenge me mentally. I like that. And then on top of what I just said, understand that in black culture, they have a tendency to believe that what you say you are is for attention. You're going through something, you're traumatized, or you're going through a phase. They have a very horrible time. They have a very horrible mindset about that. And this is why you have to lean in and go that extreme with black culture to let them know, I don't fuck with you. Look how she's sitting. And I find it very interesting, her seating position with this woman in the middle, because like I said, I think I remember this show. I think that woman in the middle was dating an Italian white guy, and then she ended up dating a damn nigger again. Like, I think that's what the fuck happened. That she went back to dating somebody black. She got tired of, like, being around people of other races or some shit. It was just too much for her. So notice how they're split. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see how they're sitting, while the other woman is way on the side, sitting directly across parallel from the black guy that's right there, right? Interesting, right? So I'm saying all this because you have to get away and you have to lean into who you are. I lean in. Wear my black nail polish. I haven't worn it lately, but I will go back to wearing my black nail polish. Drawing my eyebrows on. Wearing my eyeliner a certain way. Even at work, I still do that. I still have my own style in the way I do things. Wearing a black lippy. Because I'm telling you, you will see things that will cause them to reject you. Energetically just reject you. And so because you will begin to see the things that causes them to reject you, that's the things you lean into to get them away from you. And this is why there's people that go this extreme towards black people, because of the boundary that they lack. Because they think that what you're doing, you just going through something, a phase, you just want attention, before you have to let them know, this is who the fuck I am. What do you mean? What are you talking about? This is who I am. oh, you just doing that because of the situation you had with a male and all kind of shit. No, you don't know me. You don't know my life. That's people. That's people. And therefore, this is why I encourage go only where you are aligned and celebrated. I don't compromise myself for nobody. If I play certain music, my partner would be like, why are you listening to JoJo? And I was like, yeah, my daughter played JoJo. She played that song, whatever, the Slow Dancing in the Dark. And she's like, yeah, I thought so. Because somebody like you wouldn't know him. I say, yeah, my daughter played her. I played him. And I was like, okay. But there was other songs I listened to. She was like, okay, I can see that you would listen to that. I mean, she's not a complete idiot. I'm sure she knows my past. I, due to black culture and shit like that. Yeah, hip hop and all that bullshit. But as pretty much when I hit 30 years old, life changed. My music style changed. My music taste changed. From 30 to 33, I begin to go through that major transformation. And I've never gone back. And so these are the things you have to lean into with yourself. And even when you communicate with people, you have to lean into that with yourself. Like, no, I don't really fuck with that. I don't listen to that. I don't watch that. There's nothing wrong with being that way. Even on the data site, I put clearly, I said, well, it says, what will people be surprised to find out about you? I don't listen to hip hop or R&B. And I'm sure that makes people swipe me. And that's fine because that's the purpose. I'm here to find common interests. I'm here to find that. I'm not here for anything else. I'm just saying. And another thing I want to add is why is it such focus on you? Why is it, as the black woman, when you decide to do something different, or when you are being what you are, which is what they perceive as something different, when you decide to date outside of yourself, and you got to understand how deep jealousy and envy goes. You have to understand when you are a woman who was responsible with your reproductive system, meaning that if you have children with the same person. That if you decided to be a single mother, you were financially responsible and you did not depend on the system to take care of those children. Or maybe you don't have children at all. You have to understand too that choosing to take care of your body, choosing to put yourself first, choosing to say no, these are things that other people in the black community are going to be seethingly very jealous of. You got to understand it. You decided to give your boy children to their father, or there was a decision to allow him to raise his son. People will be jealous of you about that. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to go back to that word every time. And so you have to keep yourself out of those spaces as much as you can. And this is why you also have to stay away from the wiggers, because the wiggers are going to be jealous too. If not even more seethingly jealous of who you are. And this is why you have to know what you're worth. See, I know that I'm a woman that loves to read books and listen to audiobooks and different audiobooks. And I'll pull out a fucking notebook and write. I know that even at work on my lunch break, I will eat lunch and I will still open up a notebook and write and scribble down my plans and my ideas and zone everybody out. I know that about myself. I also know that I don't put people in my business. I want a better body. So therefore, I'm going to eat better to have a better body, right? Such as stretching, put a little yoga in my routine in increments, such as, whether it's 10 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of stretching, stepping outside to feel the weather, to see how cold it is, to see what I'm going to wear, to see how it is to go jog or to go for a walk, and where I can do this as my day-to-day daily routine to get myself my own little hypnotic rhythm and starting off small. Maybe every Tuesday and Wednesday. This is what I do. I stretch every morning. I'm just throwing something out there. Stretch every morning, every Tuesday and Wednesday. That's when I do the yoga. Every Thursday and Friday is when I go for the walk. Until maybe it could be a consistent thing where every day I go for this walk in the morning from Sunday to Sunday, right? But I have to do it in increments. People in the Black community could be very jealous of you of that. You got to understand that a lot of women are not aware of the semen warfare that's on them. There's a serious semen warfare. They're laying down with males who themselves are not intelligent. They are laying down with males who themselves are not readers, who are not so much thinkers, and who are themselves very jealous and envious of everything and everyone, and have very deep-rooted insecurities. And because of the semen warfare on a lot of these Black women, this is why you're going to get this type of reaction towards you. And see, a woman, of course, if you're dealing with women, then you definitely have a different experience in this world, spiritually and mentally, over women who do deal with them, because they have to deal with that semen warfare. Now, if you do have children, you're still dealing with semen warfare, but if you're in tune with it, it won't really affect you, especially if you took a life of celibacy or some kind of spiritual purging and cleansing for yourself. But still, it's still there. Do you get what I'm saying? So understand that that's a lot of the parts that play as well. You have to understand that there are Black women who are deeply insecure. She can have a great banging body, she can have it going on financially and all that stuff, but internally she's not well. Mentally, she's really not that well. And you have to be aware and know these things about this Black community. And you have to know when to spot a mammy. And I definitely will teach you all how to do that. You have to know how to spot a fucking mammy. And so therefore, these are the problems that you're going to run into in that community. Okay? That's just the facts. So you have to go your own way. This is why a lot of Black Gothic women live the lifestyle that we do. I always say we are the original and the first divestors of the Black community. It was us. It was always us. No matter what anybody says. Before all these women decided that this is what they were going to do. And some of them already were living that way. And I understand that. Therefore, when the decision is made, however point of life that you make that decision, it doesn't matter what your past was. The past is gone. The past doesn't matter. You understand that, right? I want you to understand the past of your life does not matter. It's gone. You can't get that back. And you may not want it back. But once you make the decision of this is my life, this is the alignment of my life, and this is how my life is going to move forward, that's how your life is going to move forward. I'm just here to help you just get a little bit of guidance on that path so you don't get pulled back somewhere else frequency wise, because people will try to do that to you. They really will try to do that to you. Understand, we are in an anti-intellectual space. There's a book called Anti-Intellectualism in America or something like that. It's on my book list. So once you know that, that's enough for how you're going to navigate in this world. I am very aware of what Trump is doing. I talk about it all the time, right? I've been keeping up with all of it. He just recently said no more transgenders in the Army, as if it's a whole bunch of transgenders in the Army. So out of 1 million people in the Army, he's probably going to have, what, about 3 transgenders in the Army? Okay, crazy. Now, I've been keeping up with everything with the travel ban. I've been keeping up, still the Civil Rights Act 1964. I've been keeping up with the tariffs, the college financial loans, the FEMA he taken away. He's just on a roll, okay? I've been keeping up with all of that. But that's not going to stop me from reading my audio books. That's not going to stop me from being who I am. That's not going to stop me from listening to my rock music. That's not going to stop me from staying in alignment. I'm still gonna keep talking shit to black males as they should, as I should talk to them. I said motherfucking Trump might click out and be like, black males are the enemy, and if y'all kill them, nobody will get arrested. Like, Trump is really on the roll. He can do something like that. And I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like he will. I honestly feel like that man will click out and say that. I was thinking about this while I was journaling yesterday, and I was like, why the fuck am I thinking about Trump saying that he would just kill all black males, and they're dangerous, and if you commit a crime against them, they're guilty, and this is their karma for what they've done. I just keep feeling like that. It's just crazy. That'd be crazy if that ever happened. But I'd be feeling like that, and it's not gonna stop the way I feel. It's not gonna stop it. And as you navigate your path, you're going to have to negate, which means you're going to have to be without. You're going to have to let go. Negate, as you can see the word negative, which means to erase, to take out of your life or daily routine or even mind. You have to negate this. You get away from a woman who was living a life of another race, and she said it was a gated community, all this stuff, and then she goes back to be with a nigga, and we know he ain't worth shit. It don't matter. You went back to be with a nigga. That's already a problem for me. You get the fuck away from a woman like that. You don't try to encourage her to go back. You don't do none of that. You get the fuck away from her. Woman in white, 7 grandkids. I love a black man. Get the fuck away from her. Okay? You get the fuck away from her. Matter of fact, fuck this show. Look around you. Look at how the fuck these women look. Do any of these women look like they've divested? Do any of these women look like they put themselves first? Do any of these women look like they know what they're worth? You don't put yourself in a space like this because this is a reflection of your internal. If you're going to put yourself in this kind of space, you have to look at it like that. Black males are destructive. They're distracting. They're always in your face. They always got something to say. They're annoying. Okay? But you have to know how to navigate around them or get away from them. And you sometimes, I'm going to have to tell you this, and it's going to sound harsh, you might have to avoid them at all costs. Scout a place, like when you walk into somewhere, look around at it, and anywhere where you see them at, you make sure you go the opposite way. That's how deep it's going to have to be when it comes to these males. These black males especially. And for the women who are attracted to, for the women with women, if like I said, I do divestment too. To them studs, the same thing. It's real out here. But I'm going to end it on this note right here. Okay, where we at? 908. Okay, I'm gonna end it on this note and say that I encourage self-love, self-worth, self-preservation. Therefore, if it does not check off my self-worth, my self-love, and my self-preservation, it doesn't check, then I don't need to be there. Then I don't need to engage in it. And then I don't need to deal with the people. I don't need to be bothered with it. That's just how I feel. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to care what the person has to say. I'm not going to give a damn about a pop-up balloon. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and listen to people and the secret lives of the divestors. We're not going to listen to that. Because you don't want yourself to be put in a space where someone may trigger you. Because that's another thing. They are triggering. And see, triggers are a very good thing because triggers, to me, are growth. So when you get triggered a lot of times, it is a point of yourself of saying, okay, why does this trigger me? My last friendship started to trigger me. After I got off my antidepressants, I noticed that I was literally getting very triggered by this person, right? I was like, why am I getting so triggered when I wasn't before, And I realized, it took me time later on to realize, because Black people have no boundaries. And I was also triggered because I don't like hip hop and R&B, and this person kept trying to push me to listen to this shit. And this person, I don't have a problem with them. There's no hard feelings, Wanted, and I'm just talking about my triggers, is that they wanted me to listen to Beyonce's country album, and I'm like, no, I'm not listening to that shit. That's not country. And then had a debate about things changing and this, and I'm like, no, music should stay pure to what it is. I don't think genres should be pushed into, bullied into, what people want it to be. That's the thing I don't like about Black culture. No, Beyonce, you can't just come into country music, make an album when you've been a pop R&B singer all these years, and say, hey, I'm making a country album and this is country. And then getting mad because you're not getting some reward. That's a little narcissistic to me. Just a little narcissistic. Anybody else think so? And that's because, again, going back to the triggers, is these are the things of Black cultures that irritate the fuck out of me. It's just no respect. Sometimes it's just no respect. So those triggers that you may have, it's not so much of your anti-Blackness. It's not so much of that. It just may be something internally, trauma-wise, that's triggering you about the culture. And then that is when you pick up a book on your traumas, on triggers. I'm sure there's a book on triggers. I know there are. And that's when you pick up a book, or that's when you go to a therapist and you figure it out. And you solve that for yourself. But it's not solving it for you to go back to the goddamn culture. You're solving it for yourself to understand yourself, to understand, as I did, why you want to stay away from that culture and what doesn't sit right with you with the Black culture. And that is okay to do. I'm going to leave it here. I am going to rest up a little bit longer. I appreciate those who tuned in. I'm out of here.